Welcome to Vision Night 2024. As with other years, we are excited about the possibilities of what lies before us. And also, as with other years, the only way this will be accomplished is by the sacrifice of God's people and the blessings of a holy God. Our first project is a project outside of our church. Over the years, God has blessed us tremendously, I believe in part because we've always done things for churches beyond our own. This year's outside project is for Tabernacle Baptist Church in Torrington, Wyoming, pastored by Pastor Mike Lebb, also known as Pastor Butch. What we would like to do is repair their roof. Many years ago, they had an addition built onto their existing building that is currently still just a shell. The roof that they had constructed to join the two buildings together was not done very well, and as a result, it has leaked, causing water damage in both buildings. We would like to repair this roof and make sure that both buildings stay intact for years to come. To do this, we will need skilled labor from our church of men who know what they're doing in repairing the roof. We will also need the financial means of accomplishing this at the cost of approximately $5,000. The first project that will actually benefit Calvary Baptist Temple is a project we're very familiar with, and that is the installation of permeable pavers to connect the current parking pad with the new basketball court. Because these are pervious, meaning water goes through them, we do not require any type of permitting. We will be able to install these in between the parking lot, the parking pad, and the basketball court, meaning the entire north side of the building will be paved. This is not difficult to do, but will require approximately $5,000 worth of supplies and labor. What a blessing it will be to have the whole north side paved during especially the winter months. Our next project will be more of a longer-term project, and that is we would like to begin to save money for the eventual replacement of our pews. We estimate it'll cost somewhere around $17,500 to replace the pews with chairs. There are several reasons why we want to do this. Our pews are approximately 50 years old. About 10 years ago, we reupholstered them and they've held up very well. But they are breaking down and getting older. There's also certain limitations we have with them. We don't have a center aisle, and I have been told numerous times by numerous young ladies that we need a center aisle for wedding purposes, etc. By switching to chairs, it will improve that flexibility and allow us to get more people into the auditorium. The cost for this overall project is about $17,500. We would like to raise $5,000 in 2024 to the eventual completion of this, potentially in 2025. Our next project for 2024 is our missionary intern, David Lopez. Brother Lopez is a product of Argentina and a mission work there. He is going into his senior year at Heartland Baptist Bible College with the full intent of returning back to Argentina and helping his father and eventually starting his work on his own. We will get the benefit of the current help of a young man that is bilingual and very responsible. In addition, we will be able to influence a future minister of God and a future investment as he will one day be a missionary. What a blessing and a rare opportunity to receive a blessing while also being a blessing. Our next project is a simpler one, and that is we would like to install a TV on the back wall below the sound booth. This will allow those who are on the platform to see the missions videos that would be displayed, as well as the lyrics for various song titles. As it is now, when we use the screen in the back, we're forced to turn with our back to the audience and the camera, which of course is less than ideal. We would also like to install 2 new 80-inch televisions on either side of the platform. This would allow us to watch videos when there's missionaries present, etc. Also, song lyrics to be displayed on a high-definition screen, but also for announcements to be scrolled through before and after the services, without the screen happening to be down, covering up the cross. The cost for this project is $2,000. Our final project tonight is one that I am the most excited about, and yet, realistically, sounds impossible. In fact, before we even get into it, let me tell you, without God's help, there is no financial way forward. There is no way that this can be accomplished. There is no way we will come anything but short of what is needed. The idea of this project is as follows. What a joy it is to send the Delgados out of Calvary Baptist Temple, to take care of the majority of their support and be behind them in a big way. What a joy it is to see Miss Leslie, formerly Cross, now McPherson, serving on the mission field, and we look forward to this summer taking a group of people to see the work there with her and Brother Jonathan. It's a blessing to have Brother Jordan have passed through our church, and now to be starting or rescuing a church in Florida, and then Pastor Gleb, as well as a long time ago having come through our church, being a product of our church, reestablishing a church in Torrington, Wyoming. Missions is wonderful. But missionaries out of our church or that have come through our church are a wonderful blessing to our church. As we approach the future, it is exciting to see how many of our young people are currently preparing for ministry. Who knows exactly how the Lord will direct their paths? Who knows where they'll end up? Who knows who they might marry? Who knows how the Lord might bless? But reasonably, we can look to the future and see that in the next few years there might be as many as 10 to 15 people that have come through our church that will be starting churches or going to the mission field, doing work of some kind. We never want to rush things. We never want to assume. But how sad would it be if we fast forward to 2028 or 2030, whatever the year might be, and we have missionaries from our church going to Africa, going to Asia, going to Europe, starting a church in South Dakota, whatever it is, and we don't have the wherewithal to support them. We don't have the means to get behind them. What a tragedy it would be if products of our church had to end up being sent out of another church. Now, if that's what God wills, then so be it. But I would like to do our very best to begin actively, weekly participating and giving towards the Church Planters Fund of our church. We'll call it the Church Planters Fund. We might be a church rescue. It might be missions. That's just a generic name to cover it all. How exciting to think of some of our young people who are already in Bible college. Some others of our young people, let's be real honest, Charity and Christian will not be with us forever. Someday they'll go out and take a church or become missionaries. We want to be able to get behind them. They are a product of our church. So we'd like to be preparing now for them and for others. Those that are still in high school, those that have had an influence in our church or our church has had an influence on them, and they're going to be going out and getting married and being a part of missions in America and around the world. And so I would ask that we would pray consistently for the Church Planters Fund. We would start contributing weekly or monthly, yearly, whatever it may be, to the Church Planters Fund so that we might have a significant amount of money in store to be able to get behind the young people from our church as they go out. I would love tonight to begin to list some of the names and faces, but the fear would be that we would leave someone out and thus offend or plus, we don't know. There might be someone you're sitting next to that God calls to preach that he hasn't called yet. And so this project is an ongoing one. It'll be every year. And quite frankly, it's more significant and more important than maybe any other project we've ever been involved in. I trust that you'll consider giving. I trust that you'll be praying. And I know that God wants to bless the Church Planters Project that we start in 2024, that I trust will continue until Jesus Christ comes back. So there you have it, the visions for 2024 and beyond. I hope you're excited about them. I hope we can move forward as a church. I hope you'll pray about giving and contributing to these special projects on our I Love My Church Sunday, February the 11th. And you can give three ways. You can give cash that day or on Tidely. You might also give by promise of a weekly check or a monthly donation. And you can also give a future commitment, meaning you might get an insurance settlement or a tax return at a given time where you say, I'll give $500 by June 1st or August 8th or whatever it may be. I hope you'll pray about it. I hope you're excited about it. I look forward to seeing what God might do around the world through this church and your giving. God bless.